Welcome, my chillers of the flower moon, to our first Sunday morning news video. I'm your host, Chill the Messenger. Some of the things we'll be covering today are the first human to receive a Neuralink transplant, ongoing issues at Boeing, Bernie Sanders' proposed 32-hour work week, and more. After a slew of conspiracy theories running rampant this past week, the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, revealed that she has cancer and is currently undergoing chemotherapy. The cancer was discovered after further diagnosis stemming from a surgery in January, and we like to send our best wishes to Kate and hope for a full and speedy recovery. Someone else we'd like to send our best wishes to is 29-year-old Nolan Arbaugh, who was the first person known to ever receive a Neuralink transplant. Arbaugh was seen this week on Twitter live stream playing chess on his laptop by using a Neuralink device, which allows him to control the computer cursor or keyboard with his thoughts. The implant, which was received in January, enabled him to play games he had given up on. Arbaugh had said, in reference to the game Civilization 6, "You all gave me the ability to do that again, and I played for 8 hours straight." While not perfect, Arbaugh has said that it has changed his life, though he still has work to be done. One thing to note is that Neuralink has faced FDA scrutiny over animal experiment record keeping and quality controls. Arbaugh has stated he plans to dress up as Professor X for Halloween this year, since not only is he in a wheelchair, but he is also telekinetic now. We go from one first in human to another. 62-year-old Richard Slayman received the first genetically modified pig kidney transplant in a groundbreaking surgery done at Mass General Hospital. The pig kidney was genetically modified to be more compatible with humans using CRISPR tech. The surgery is part of an experimental program aimed at addressing the shortage of donated organs. With confirmation that the kidney is successfully producing urine, Slayman's recovery is being closely monitored, and the long-term success of the transplant is still uncertain, although there is hope that the kidney will last 2 years. This has also raised several concerns. One worry is the possibility of spreading animal viruses to humans, COVID. Another is about slaughtering thousands of animals every year to harvest their organs. Moving on from pig kidneys to pigs flying, keep an eye out for baconators falling from the skies. Apparently, DoorDash and Wing have launched a drone delivery partnership in the US, starting in Christiansburg, Virginia. Select local customers can order from a specific Wendy's location through the DoorDash app and have their meals delivered by drone. From one danger in the sky, we move on to another. The big story this week is on Boeing, a company formerly associated with world-class quality and safety. For those who haven't heard about what's been going on with Boeing recently, here is as short of a recap as I can make it. October 2018. A Boeing 737 MAX crashes, killing 189 people on board. March 2019. Another Boeing 737 MAX crashes, killing 157 people on board. Okay, so here we are more recently now, January 5th, another Boeing 737 MAX loses its door while it's 3 miles above ground. The force of the vacuum twisted the metal frame of the seats nearby, sucked out people's cell phones and headsets, even took the shirt off a kid's back. Luckily, no one was sitting in the seats, but this did lead to Boeing grounding all 171 737 MAX planes for further inspection. January 8th, United and Alaska Airlines find visibly loose parts on their 737 MAX jet doors after inspection. On January 12th, the FAA says they will begin auditing Boeing 737 MAX production line and its suppliers. On January 16th, a self-described Boeing employee says that Boeing's manufacturing records show that workers failed to properly reinstall bolts meant to hold the large panel in place. January 24th, a wheel fell off a Boeing 757 passenger jet and rolled away as the plane was lining up for takeoff. February 21st, Director and Chief Engineer Ed Clark is removed from his position at Boeing. February 28th, the FAA gives Boeing 90 days to develop a comprehensive plan to address systemic quality control issues to meet FAA's non-negotiable safety standards. This is where it starts to get good. On March 4th, after a 6-week audit of Boeing, the FAA says it found multiple instances where the companies allegedly failed to comply with manufacturing quality control requirements. The agency also cites an expert review panel's report on Boeing, which found a disconnect between Boeing's senior management and other members of the organization on safety culture. Also on March 4th, a Boeing 737 departing from Houston had to return to the airport for an emergency landing after one of the engines was on fire from ingesting plastic wrap. March 7th, a Boeing 777 leaving San Francisco for Osaka, Japan had to make an emergency landing at LAX after the aircraft lost a tire. The next day, on March 8th, another Boeing 737 MAX veered off the runway upon landing in Houston and tilted onto the grass. The next day, on March 9th, John Barnett, a former Boeing quality control manager who became a whistleblower, is found dead. Police are investigating after finding Barnett dead in the vehicle. The coroner's office says he died from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Barnett had been locked in a legal battle with Boeing since early 2017 when he accused his former employer of retaliating against him for raising safety concerns in the company's commercial airplanes. March 11th, a Boeing 777 had to turn back after takeoff because the plane was spewing hydraulic fluid. Also on March 11th, a Boeing 787 experiences a sharp drop in altitude, sending several passengers flying to the ceiling of the cabin and injuring dozens. A few days after that incident, Boeing sent a notice to the airlines with the 787 warning them to look at a switch on the pilot's seat that, if accidentally triggered, can throw a pilot forward into the controls of the plane and possibly send the plane into a nosedive. On March 14th, a Boeing 737 was discovered to be missing an external panel after the aircraft was parked at the gate. March 22nd, the FBI indicated to passengers of the January 5th Boeing 737 MAX flight, which experienced a mid-air door blowout, that they may be victims of a crime and that the Bureau will be investigating. And so, after the preliminary investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board, they found that the jet left Boeing's factory without 4 bolts needed to keep the door in place. Subpoenas from the Justice Department were also sent recently, seeking documents and information that may be related to the door plug. So while flying remains the safest way to travel statistically, due to customer demand, many flight search engines have added features to be able to filter by plane make and model now. Someone else who might be possibly flying high right now is Aaron Taylor Johnson, star of the hit movie Bullet Train and upcoming Sony Marvel action comic movie Kraven the Hunter, is said to have the role of the next James Bond, should he choose to accept it. And that's going to bring us to our final story today. Senator Bernie Sanders is advocating for a bill that would mandate a 32-hour federal work week, citing advancements in AI and automation. The bill would gradually reduce the standard work week from 40 to 32 hours over 4 years, and it would also require employers to pay overtime compensation for hours worked beyond 8 in a single day. Business leaders such as JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates predict that within decades, people could work as little as 3 days a week due to these innovations. However, Republicans argue that the mandate would harm small businesses and industries requiring longer hours. And that's all we got time for this week. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday night for some sports and entertainment and check back next Sunday for some more news. Remember, folks, don't kill the messenger.